All right, so I know I can only go about 15 minutes at the most, so I'm gonna have to be super brief here. I just wanted to tell a story today. There's no point behind this video. Thought you just might enjoy hearing this. So, when I was young, my dad and we used to have like brochures sent to us from all kinds of beautiful places, like the Virgin Islands and the Cayman Islands and all kinds of other beautiful paradises like the Bahamas and whatnot. And so obviously at the time when I was young, I always thought I'd make a lot of money, get rich, and then retire someplace beautiful. But when my dad and I came to Oahu in 1991, and you kind of just saw how it was like an ordinary place where people work for a living and stuff, I thought to myself, why don't I just move someplace beautiful, and then I can be in paradise a lot longer, than not have to go through all those decades of toil in some place I don't want to really be, just to try to save up enough that I can retire when I'm all old and whatnot. So that was in the back of my mind, but I didn't actually follow through on it because I was close to my family and stuff, and it was fun to be in a place where you were near everyone you love. But majority of my family lived like in the northeast corner of Colorado, which is by Nebraska, so as opposed to being beautiful and mountainous and whatnot like most of Colorado, it was more like Nebraska. It was flat and brown and cornfields and whatnot. So the place just kind of felt dead and lifeless. And it was also an older community, and they didn't seem to really embrace young people very much. So you just kind of felt unwanted, and you struggled, and the weather was bad, and it was frustrating. My dad was really, really cool. He co-signed with me to help me get my own house and stuff, because houses were way, way cheaper in the Midwest than they were here on the islands. And it was cool at first, but after a while it felt like an anchor. It felt like it had you trapped there. And I told him how I felt, and he's like, "You're too young to feel like this. Go away, I'll sell the house, it's all cool." And when I heard that, I thought this is a perfect opportunity to go anywhere I wanted. So I decided I wanted to move to Hawaii. So I came to Maui with like $400 in my pocket, and it took 6 weeks to get a job. Like, a lot of people come and go here, so they kind of think of you as a transient when you arrive. They just assume you're not going to be here long, so no one really wants to hire you. And 6 weeks isn't that long, but when you have $400 and you don't know when you're going to get a job, and at the time my metabolism was through the roof. I used to have like 5,500 calories a day. So yeah, it was kind of a struggle. But then I got my job at Mama's, and I was living up in Makawa at the time. Due to financial reasons, it was the best thing I could do. My little sister, she married this really cool guy, and the best man in the wedding was this little bitty guy that lived in Makawa. And basically I was like sleeping on the floor of this bonus house he had for free, and in return I like cleaned the house, I helped him feed his horses and fix his fences and whatnot. I actually did a lot more labor than if I had just paid rent, but at the time I didn't have money, so it was a good situation for me, and I had no problem with it. It was cool. But Makawa was 8 miles from Mama's Fish House where I got the job, so I had to walk down to work and then back up every day. And Makawa is also bare minimum 1,700 feet elevation, whereas Mama's is at sea level. So on the way there, it was easy because it was daytime and I'm walking downhill and whatnot. But then like you would work all super, super hard, and then you'd be all wiped out, and then you had to walk uphill for 8 miles, and that was pretty tiring. But I wanted to be here really, really bad, so I was gonna do whatever it took. And I was also in really, really good shape at the time. So I remember at the time looking at all the nice cars in the employee parking lot and thinking, man, these people on the floor make so much money, because I was a dish guy and we didn't get paid very much. And I was thinking how cool it would be to have a nice car. I didn't even have a junk car at the time. I just walked. And so a couple days ago, I was walking to work and I see my nice 2013 Nissan Leaf in my carport and think, man, how nice are things right now compared to 13 years ago, or a little longer, before I got my first car. Like, now I have this like nice, reliable car that I like. I have a nice place to live, quarter-mile away from the house, where it's just a pleasant little stroll instead of a huge, long 2-hour, 2.5, 3-hour walk. So, yeah, it's nice to remember where you came from, to appreciate what you have now. And if you're in one of those times in life where you're in the midst of a struggle, to know that that's how you get places. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that because I thought you might find it entertaining.